One of the Indian women devised an unusual ploy to protect her husband. I mean, this story is in the New York Times, and she said it's harder to kill a man who has a bit of an internet renown, and so she told everybody on the internet that her husband is a whistleblower in a corruption case, and therefore it's a responsibility of every citizen to protect him. And whereas in the past 2-3 decades, almost anyone who reports or there is a slight leak for corruption, the person gets killed. So this person is still alive. Is that ploy useful?
Well, I certainly think so. In third world countries, whistleblowing is a life-threatening action, truly. Because usually in third world countries, you're dealing with corruption on a mass level. Not just government corruption, in the day-to-day business world, in interactions between entities. And if it's accepted at that level, then government as a standard doesn't matter, doesn't kick in. So in our society, whistleblower protections are relatively new. They only came in the 70s, after we'd been around for a couple hundred years. And after we dealt with government corruption in the early stages of our democracy, so that's a late phenomenon, dealing with corruption, corrupt practices within government, and allowing individuals who see it to come out and expose it. And protect those individuals. But the rest of our society had been fairly well cleaned up. We were not accepting of police corruption, of political corruption, even at the lower levels. We'd been fighting that for 50, 60 years before. At the federal level, we established whistleblower protections. Third world countries aren't evolved to that level of sophistication yet. So, yeah, I think the ploy that woman used in India to protect her husband is clever, and trying to go beyond the reaches of government to involve a broader community in the whistleblowing, in the protection, is a smart
The intensity of problem of corruption. Indians pay $5 billion a year in bribes, and the Indian officials operate with impunity completely.
Whom they pay to United States, whom they are paying. I'm from India. It's a corrupt from top to the bottom. You can't get done anything without corruption. About this woman, I think she did a very smart thing. We live in a different world now. The world has become very small, and electronic media has done a wonderful job. So I think she had disseminated this information to protect her husband. I can assure you, if she didn't do that, her husband would have been gone without any trace. The governments are afraid of this because let's say somebody else goes and kills him. The government will be blamed that they killed him, and the reaction of the people are becoming more educated. As they get more information, they become more angry, they are going to protest more. So that is why I think the woman did a very smart thing, and this thing will work in third world countries, not in our country.
China is the test case here. It is probably the most corrupt of all countries within the government apparatus, and the government is probably more concerned than elsewhere in trying to cope with the problem. The result now is executions of senior officials again and again, but it is an effort on the part of the government to inculcate discipline and to prove that malfeasance will be punished. The Chinese government probably would be well off if they instituted some system of whistleblowing in addition to what they're trying to do now.